What up, y'all? This is Quaesar from the Mighty Rhyme Fighters crew, Project Blowed, C-O-L-A, right here in my hometown, Monte, California. Hey, yo, usually I'm out here popping the trunk, but today we're gonna do something different. Hop in, let's take a ride. You know, when cats come out to L.A. and search for roots and culture, they often find themselves lost in a sea of dreamers with no real direction themselves. So instead of letting you go astray, I'm here to steer you in the right direction. Yo, peace. This is Quaesar. Y'all need to be on the lookout for the new EP this summer in 2026 called Seeds in the Sand by Starseeds of the Iguana. That's Stevie Weeby, Ill Al, and Iota Arcane. Featuring 12 typical cats, robust, mestizo, with cuts by DJ Bless One, AZ Southwest, represent. This message is brought to you by Avenue of the Arts. This is Quaesar. Peace. What up, y'all? This is Quaesar right here at Sounds of Music out in East Los, California off of Whittier Boulevard. This is the East Side Underground. Let's go inside and check it out. Located at 4945 Whittier Boulevard in East Los Angeles, you'll find a plethora of classic vinyl, from heavy metal to rare oldie classics. From the bargain rack for thrift seekers to hard-to-find collectibles, including authentic memorabilia. Unfortunately, Mario wasn't here when we pulled up, but you could get a dope interview of him if you hit the link that I post up below. Carlos Reyes started selling records back in 1964 out the city of Montebello, who then passed it on to his son, Mario. In 1967, they moved to a spot off Arizona and Whittier. Then, in 2018, they moved to its current location, which just so happens to be the home of the infamous Silver Dollar Bar. For those that don't know, the Silver Dollar Bar is the location where Ruben Salazar lost his life to sheriff deputies when they fired tear gas canisters into the spot at who they thought were armed gunmen held up. Ruben Salazar was an investigative journalist who worked for the L.A. Times as a columnist. He was one of, if not the first Mexican-American reporters in America. He even had a special position. He was called the Mexican City Bureau Chief. He earned world recognition for his coverage of the 1968 student massacre in Mexico. He was even a foreign correspondent for the Vietnam War. He's accredited for bringing national attention to the civil rights movement, especially for Mexican Americans, and covered topics that affected Mexican Americans, such as politics, police brutality. This dude was crazy. He even purposely got himself locked up just to document the harsh conditions in the Texas jails. He was able to translate the Chicano community into English and bring it mainstream, straight to people's faces, bridging the gap between the already polarized society. After witnessing the disproportionate ratio of Hispanics and black soldiers going to war and dying, Ruben made it a point to cover the national Chicano Moratorium protests against the Vietnam War in Los Angeles. The Chicano Moratorium Committee was against the Vietnam War, specifically against Mexican Americans being systematically drafted. It was created by Rosalio Munoz of UCLA, Ramses Noriega, and David Sanchez of the Brown Berets. The Brown Berets are an organization that formed in 1967, so check it. In 1940s, you had the Zoot suits. See, these were the kids of the Pachucos, the Zoot suits. And in the 40s, their parents were humiliated in the streets, literally stripped of their clothes, then arrested. So they inherited a natural resentment towards authority and political bureaucracy that would prevent them from becoming educated, learning trade skills, professions, etc. So the Brown Berets were formed to protect the people and combat against the harassment and police brutality that continued in their neighborhood. They also used their influence to educate their people, another way of protecting them. Knowing's half the battle. They were against the oppressive educational system and would protest and lobby for school reform, noting that the lack of education leads to a higher possibility of being drafted. In sum, the Brown Berets basically emulated the Black Panthers in many ways. They would even stand side by side for just causes. The Brown Berets were also reportedly responsible for the East L.A. blowouts in 1968. I'll put a link down below so you can check it out. On August 29, 1970, the Chicano Moratorium Committee came out 30,000 deep. So you know the city didn't like that. So what did they do? Of course, send in the cavalry, pushing an already volatile situation past its tipping point. Unfortunately for everyone. The sheriff started making their way in Laguna Park and clearly had no ground plan. Soon, they found themselves surrounded and got the shit beat out of them. They were pummeled with rocks, sticks, bottles, bricks, balled up fists. They got beat up bad. And you know that didn't sit well for the chiefs. Soon, they started calling for reinforcements. Then the whole city got lit up. Fires broke out, businesses were destroyed, and at the end of it all, a standoff that ended with the death of an American hero. Remember, Ruben worked in Nam, so he knew what war looked like. He knew how it started, what it smelt like, what it felt like, so he practiced an art of war technique, retreat, and ended up seeking refuge in none other, the Silver Dollar Bar. While seeking refuge in the bar, someone had reported to police that there was armed gunmen held up in there, which prompted a response. As sheriff deputies fired tear gas canisters in an attempt to draw them out, one of them struck Ruben. He was instantly martyred, changing East Los Angeles forever, leaving an everlasting scar that echoes through the streets of East L.A. till this day. Now, I'm not an expert or anything, but the red flags that stick out for me is who started destroying the property and setting shit on fire, and who told the police that Ruben was in that bar. Back then, we were taught to respect our elders. We loved our city. We had a beautiful neighborhood. I guess we'll never know. I guess it'll remain a secret, but I do know who's good at keeping secrets. I guess we'll save that one for another episode. So now you know. Sounds of Music is not just another record store, its roots are embedded deep into these streets. With music recorded on vinyl and history recorded into its infrastructure. Stop by today. The staff is extremely knowledgeable, helpful, and friendly. They have vinyl from 12-inch to 45s, cassettes, CDs, cool Chicano wear, custom lokes, bandanas, posters, artwork, and more. They even throw sick-ass events, so follow them today on Instagram and get updated to the next party. And when you come by, make sure to get yourself that Quaesar Defend Our Culture on vinyl. This is Quaesar at Sounds of Music. Peace.
Been a long time, we shouldn't have left you, but now we're back with something to bob your heads to. Run fighters to the rescue, here to save the day. Is it fall name with J.L.A. Along with beats and lyrics that make it sway. We're not going nowhere, we here to stay. Still ready to bust with no delay. Just give us a cut, or so what's to tear it up and then be on our way. Yo, we out, time to bounce, but we'll be back.